you're going to be on your lap. I want you to kind of be tucked because you're not looking at your paper. Okay? I don't want you looking at your paper. Actually, I want to make sure. You know what I usually do, but it's COVID, so everything's changed. I usually have everybody in a horseshoe, and then I sit and stare at everybody. And I just realized I'm not able to stare at you guys to see if you're cheating. Well, here's the thing. If you cheat, you're only hurting yourself. Seriously. Okay? So, here's what you're going to do. You are not allowed to lift your pencil. You're going to put your pencil down when I say go, and you're not allowed to look here. Now, obviously, you're going to want to look here. So you got to just kind of be like, whoop, nope. Okay? Here's the other thing, and you have to be aware of this because I'm not going to be able to keep an eye on you like I usually do. Okay? You need to be aware, are you observing this? Or did you take a picture of this in your brain and you're now drawing from your brain? Now, not to call out my animator people. I'm looking at my two teenagers. But y'all work from your imagination all the time, okay? And you've got to learn observation in order to apply it to imagination, okay? So this is going to be, you guys need to have a little bit more self-awareness. If you tend to do animation, you need a little bit more self-awareness. I got two teenagers on here who I'm sure do animation, okay? Just because that's the thing right now. So you want to make sure you're not looking at your brain. So if you feel this, okay? If you feel this, you're accessing your brain and a photo of this in your brain. That's not going to help you draw. Again, it's the difference between a dachshund and Oscar the dachshund. That's the dachshund I messed up on the eye I told you about. I drew a perfect eye and had to move it over 1/4 of an inch. Okay, that was Oscar. So I'll never forget Oscar. He was cute. Pudgy little thing. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to put your pencil down close to you. See, I can't see that. That's not in my peripheral vision. And I'm not going to be able to talk during this because this is full-blown right side of the brain. I'm not going to talk when y'all are doing it. Okay, that's why I play no words. All right, ready? So just kind of watch my eyes. And I'm doing a 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch. I'll start with that guy. All right. Oh, and I'm not looking at my paper either. I just noticed myself in my brain looking at my paper. Okay? Isn't it weird that I noticed that about myself? But I mean, I've done this a few times. Okay? So you want to be looking at that. So pay attention to what you're looking at. Remember, this is an eye to brain to hand communication. If you're going hand to brain and not using your eyes, this is pointless. Okay? Does that make sense? I know, y'all didn't know you were going to get a whole science class in art tonight, did you? Okay. Jody's loving it. Oh, why did I pick this? This is a million ellipses. This is brutal. The fun part about this is I'm seeing how things are connected. I will actually do this if I get stuck, where I'll do the blind contour. And it shows me where things are connected. So like I'm seeing, like these ellipses are brutal, but if you look at there's a rhythm to them. And I don't know where I am. Great. So we'll just, because I stopped and talked. All right, we'll start there. Okay, so this is a disaster. So we'll stop. But, do you see the connections? Okay. Okay, the other thing is if I look from here to here, it's actually accurate because it's the same size. From my vision here to here, it's about the same size. So these will be little. Okay, if you're doing it right, it'll be little because you basically want to trace, and you'll have to find the connections. Okay, so this was brutal. So if you have a candlestick at your station, don't do it this time. Okay, because it's just a bunch of ellipses going down, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But what I was doing, just so you guys kind of know, I came and when I hit here, it was like, okay, let me come straight down, hit this, and I went around it, and then I saw how this connects to here and just kept following it around. But you can see I couldn't go all the way around because I couldn't lift my pencil. Now, what this will ultimately teach you is, one, it'll train that eye to brain to hand. Eye, brain, hand. So you want to notice that disconnect if there is one. If you're going brain to hand and your eyes are looking at your brain going to hand, you want to be aware of that. What was the other one I said? You want to be aware if you're looking at your paper, okay, because that's something I tend to do. Like I then look at my paper in my eye, and that doesn't help. I need to look at this. Now, it'll be a crazy drawing, okay? Like I said, you get good laughs. But what it does is it coordinates that, but it also shows you, what's going on. It shows you the importance of looking at the paper, but also the importance of staring at your object. Okay, too many times we take a picture of the object, like we go like this, draw it, go like this, right? I mean, I'm assuming everybody's in here because you want to learn to draw better, right? Okay, so we're on that page. So if you're taking a picture and then drawing it, that's not drawing better. Versus, this is reality of drawing. You're looking, and I'm seeing where my pencil is. That's the purpose of looking at the paper. But I'm looking at this the whole time. And so it also trains that habit of observation, okay? So the reason I'm stressing this one more and more, like I said, I'll still do this. And I figured it out today. I've been drawing seriously for 30 years. So when I sit and I draw that guy in 5 minutes, no problem. And John looks at me and goes, help. Like, I was like, John, I've been drawing a while. And I'm like, I wonder how long I've been drawing. I figured it out today. I was like, holy cow, I've been drawing for 30 years. I'm not old enough to be drawing for 30 years. Okay? So years. And I still do this exercise. Okay? If I'm not seeing something, if I'm drawing something new and I'm not seeing it right, I'll just stare it down and blindly draw it. Just so I understand the rhythms going on. Make sense? Okay? So this isn't me just being silly. This is something I do. It's actually an artist friend of mine posted the other day on Instagram. She was like, isn't this fun? My mom was sitting there and I just sat here and just, had fun just doodling. And I just drew Anne and the rhythms of Anne. And that's what she looks like. Just for the fun of it. Okay? Just to see her rhythms. Okay? So it's something fun you can do too while you're in the train or whatever. Sound good? All right, I gotta trust y'all. I don't like that, to be honest. I'm kind of struggling. But it is what it is, especially Todd. Good night. There's a chair right next to Todd. I might park myself down there. Okay? You love it. You keep coming back for more. All right, go ahead. I will lower this one. Todd, Caleb, you guys are pretty tall. You're probably okay. But you can also look, Caleb, you can look at that shelf, Jane's shelf, ultimately. Jackie, you get to pick either. Jody, you get to pick either. Let me turn this off.